In previous Boxcutter versions, like you see me using here, we could press D, jump over to Ngon, and let's just begin drawing our shape. And we will just use this last point snapping in order to apply it. And before extruding, we'll just press B in order to perform a nice bevel, and we'll just round it off. And then from here, perform the extrusion. From here, I'm going to shift to keep it live, and this is where things begin to fall apart. So I'm going to draw a box and perform my cut, and so far, so good. However, if I press B and begin performing a bevel, we see that the weight of this new bevel is affecting the weight of the previous bevel. And this is actually due to a sorting issue, and this was something that was driving me crazy for quite a while. However, internally we finally got it dealt with. So here we see what the situation looks like. In the previous version of Blender, what we need is for this bevel to be underneath the boolean and the boolean to be less, so that way whenever we perform our operations, everything actually works out according to plan. And to show that in action again, we're just going to perform another cut, and you see so far everything is so good except for the cut disappearing with the interior because of doubles. But if we press B, we see that we're also beveling the marked edges that are being used for the bevel of this new shape. So this is failing on multiple levels, but let's just shift this to live and select the shape, and we see that once again all we have to do is just make sure that the bevel is first in the stack before going to all of these booleans, and everything works out according to plan. And so with that, that is how things are supposed to go. But just letting you know that previously things weren't going like that. In fact, this was something that happened with all of our shapes that utilize weight. I'll draw a box, we'll bevel it, which means that weight is being used to perform the bevel, allowing us to control each individual corner if we needed. But the moment it breaks down is whenever another shape is being brought into the mix that also has a bevel. And as you can see, this is probably a shape that I actually use quite often. So let's just select this shape and let's just push the bevel back up to the top, and we see that everything's working out the way it's supposed to. However, users shouldn't have to go through so much work and think so much in order to perform a simple cutter on cutter operation. So let's just perform our cut again using Ngon, just giving it a few angles, last point snapping, right click, we'll press B in order to bevel, just rounding it out till we get the exact bevel that we want. We'll shift it to live, and from here we can just press D, go into box select, press B, press space bar, draw it again, press B, press space bar. I've actually tested this so much that I'm 100% confident that this is no longer going to be an issue for users, because the fix was actually relatively easy. It was just a matter of expressing exactly what the issue was that we aimed to solve with it. So I'm happy to announce that now whenever you're using weights on weights inside of Boxcutter, the sorting will now behave properly, allowing you to get the desired result without any sort of sorting mishaps actually occurring.